is active. Whatever that they gotta do is just go all out, punch down the turret, or even go for the Blessing of Moon Goddess to ensure that everyone stays up on top and ensure that they are always at the top of their game. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the final picks that we have so far between Evos-SG versus RSG-SG. Game number 1 of this best of 5 series. And once again, let us jump right in and have a grand introduction over here. When we have Evos-SG representing them, we do have Soul that is going to be playing onto the Benedetta, Potato right onto the Aldous, JPL onto Lolita, Girl onto that Estes, and finally Pokemon that will be rocking with style onto the Harif.
This is insane. Eldos in the hyper situation here. They throw the Harif onto the goal lane. A bit of a greedy play that Eldos is going to try to get as much soul steal as he can. And all these whip picks coming for Evos, if it really does pull off, that is one heck of a trick. But now RSG, like I spoke about, the Selena, hitting that level 2. This is the pick coming off of Selena, the strongest mage at level 2 right now. He's definitely going to be looking for a kill. And Sana, he is one dangerous Selena to look out for.
Speaking of Sana, when it comes to RSG-SG, we can also talk a little bit more about their laning situation. But for now, it does seem like Sync is going to be playing onto the Zask in the top lane. Forza rocking onto the Cho. They will be heading all around as the tank. Jason onto the Lapu Lapu, all the way down in the bottom lane, facing off against the Harif. And finally LY4 rocking onto the Yisun Shin as we observe RSG with the early start off in the middle. It just seems like they are hungry for some blood.
And the power Q is going to be so important in blocking all those abyssal arrows for the back line. It's going to be able to soak out some damage coming from the Zaz as well. And hence why you see the Lolita going for the knockup. But Forza will bite back. This might be first blood. The multi-shocker comes up. And yes, it is going to be Sana that picks up the first kill onto that Lolita.
No problems whatsoever coming for the side of RSG. They managed to secure themselves a single kill right on top of Lolita, and that pretty much means that they have also opened up the entire 50 line for them to pick up right onto the turtle. Potato finds himself caught out for a little bit, but it's not too big of a problem. He does have some points of sustainability for himself, and RSG used up all of that space and time to ensure that they pick out the turtle as soon as possible with a total of 500 gold lead.
RSG now prioritizing the move onto the top lane. So getting taken out with the stun. Will try to use the dash to get out of trouble. But here comes Potato. They're going to try to get Forza, who's out of position. But he manages to back out really good with the Chikundo. And now Evos starting to defend this tier 1 onto the top. RSG will have to back off. They don't really want to burn the Dominators descent over there onto the top lane, so they're going to buy some time. Meanwhile, Jason with the Bravest Warrior comes down to Potato, gets stunned out by the missile arrow as well. Is Potato going to go down here? Esther's trying to keep him alive with the Well Blessing, but it's not enough. And now RSG getting into the mojo. This is what they're familiar with. Sana on that Selena is just a danger man.
A Blessing of the Moon Goddess is not possible to keep them one man alive. Now that is gruesome. Potato just going down just like that. RSG, the burst potential is definitely not something that you would want to underestimate. And Evos-SG right after that fight itself, it is a great testament to find out how things are going to be working out. As Jason with the Bravest Warrior, he does seem like he would definitely want to get himself away as we got Potato flying and soaring through the skies as he goes straight in with Chase Fate. But unfortunately, wrong target chosen. Would have been able to chase up onto Jason and perhaps get a soul steal onto him.
I think the idea here was to try to take Sana out of the picture. I've been speaking a lot about Sana's Selena, and this is why you don't give him the Selena. 2 kills as of now, but look at how much space this has created for RSG. Speaking about RSG, coming down to the bot lane, Go cut off position. He has JPL support. The rest of the team are here. Potato and Pokemon coming on the top lane. Sana, he's going to have to back off a bit. The Mountain Shocker comes up. That's going to push Evos back for a second. Meanwhile, mid lane, a bit of a tussle of their own. Benedetta against the Lapu Lapu. But more importantly, Evos starting up the turtle, dragging pushing him to their own side of the jungle, but they don't feel too comfortable about taking this one. And looks like RSG will force them to back off.
Definitely going to be a potential coming from either side of these teams as they would want to capitalize on this turtle. A imminent 5 versus 4 while Benedetta goes for a side lane push down onto the top lane as Forza takes the initiation right on top of JPL. But they don't want to force any fight over here. Surprisingly, they managed to get themselves that single turtle and then back off to allow LY4 to farm up as much as he can in order to snowball a little bit further into the ranks and into the game. While Benedetta, pretty happy up in the top lane, getting themselves the first turret.
Now we know how well Soul's Benedetta can be. We've seen him perform so well in day 1. And this is it. Benedetta just trying to buy more time for the rest of the team to farm up. Pokemon needs his items, the Elders needs his stacks. Meanwhile, JPL using the Bulwark Shield to just, soak up the damage coming off the Abyssal Arrow. And this is the good thing about Lolita, right? If you look at the heroes coming off the side of RSG, a lot of front-hitting heroes. You got LY4 playing the Yi Sun-shin, you got Sana that's playing the Selena, and you also have Sing playing on that Zaz. And this is where Lolita is just good at, soaking damage with the shield without taking damage herself.
And everyone else just going to be jumping around on top of Jason, but unfortunately, it does seem like Bravest Warrior will be able to get himself away, but unfortunately, Soul right in between, proxying things out. But it does seem like Jason and friends will be able to capitalize on all of that and bring Soul right down into the depths of hell with JPL up next into their kill contracts. The assassination from RSG is proving to be darn painful as Potato has secured another turret again. Evos SG, they have been focusing on objectives such as turrets, while RSG focusing on kills and objectives such as the turtles.
It's where top team shines. Even when you're losing, you try to get something on the map, and this is what Evos are doing. They know they don't have momentum on the side. RSG doing a splendid job at taking control of the map. And this is where Evos will have to back off. Tier 2 going to be down in a couple of seconds. That Zaz as well as the minion that he's summoning. It's just too much for Evos to deal with now, but we will have to wait because Potato, he's coming up online.
We're talking about LY4 as well. Once Potato is able to get a nice dive in onto LY4, who's the one that can really be stopping him?
It's a tough question to ask because LY4, he's been babysitted very well coming into the playoffs, and now you look at what RSG have to offer, right?
It's a good setup though.
Yeah, they just need to be able to protect this Yi Sun-shin. But
Jason jumping right in with the Bravest Warrior being one of the most important catalysts to get themselves a single or maybe a couple of kills. In the meantime, the Electro pops right up from Soul, but unfortunately wasn't able to secure him anything as he tosses his soul, literally, onto the side of RSG, granting himself yet another death to his name. RSG is pretty much putting Evos with their back against the wall. Things are definitely not looking good, especially with that power spike that we may see from LY4 because of the Blade of Despair.
RSG here, they know that they're a bit of a timer. They can't let this game go on too late. That is where Elders really start to shine. Yes, there are ways to counter the Elders, but prevention is better than cure, and that's what RSG is exercising right now. They don't want to allow this game go on too late, hence why they're moving along the map. And talking about learn the map, they find a lone Soul who could be in a bit of trouble. Electro pops up, but could it be enough? Yes, it is. Now RSG aware that their mid is getting pushed down. Jason might go down here. The last shot comes up in time for Potato, or rather Pokemon, to get the kill. Meanwhile, Sana and Forza still lingering around. They might have stayed too long for their comfort. The Abyssal Arrow will land on to go, but he's being surrounded by both the Lolita as well as Harif. And that's why RSG is going to back off. Meanwhile, they managed to pick up a tier 2 at the bottom lane.
It is a great distraction that RSG have managed to put, right? A distant amount of players, 2 of them, into middle lane, buying time against 3 players from Evos, and they don't even dare. They wouldn't even want to go in onto either of these players, while LY4 as well as Sync, they're just focusing on bringing down the second tier turrets, and they've been grinding this over and over again from the top lane all the way onto the bottom lane. What's left when it comes to second tier turret is definitely going to be the middle lane, and that is going to be the next part of the objective that RSG is looking out for, something that we can definitely predict out.
You can start to see Evos prioritizing the farm of Pokemon. They need this Harif to come online just to buy a bit more time, right? Blue buff given over to the Harif. Potato, he doesn't really need the blue buff. He needs the stacks, and this is why he's starting the split push. The beauty of picking up at the Eldos, yes, it's very late game hero, but what he can do is split push, get the soul steals, and then try to use the chase fate to get on the kill. Talking about Fate Chase, he comes in onto the back line. Sing might just go down here. LY4 being targeted. The smash coming in from the Lolita stuns 2 members out, but is it enough though? So coming on the back line as well. They might be able to remove LY4. One more hit to do the trick, but it's not enough. Meanwhile, Evos focusing on Jason. They pick up 1 kill. Forza might just drop next. RSG, 3 members alive, but they're really, really low. Is this the trigger for Evos to pick up the Lord?
That was a lot of things going on, and let's break it down for a little bit. As RSG, they have a couple of players that worked on with the Truncheon, Wind of Nature. They have got that covered. LY4 got a Wind of Nature, and I believe that Sync has gotten it himself with the Truncheon. They know that they are definitely going to be one of the priorities when it comes to Evos-SG's orders, and thus they are well prepared. As long as they pop that right up in time, then Potato is just going to be sending himself right into the heart of RSG, only for him to blink and die.
Look at that, Potato instantly diving in for LY4. The stun comes up. The bulwark will block a lot of damage coming up for the side of Jason, but he's just overwhelmed by these 4 members coming. Evos, they switch target, they quickly remove Forza off the map, and by the time they remove Soul, they are so low they cannot go back in for the re-engage, and that is what Evos have been looking for. Time bought on this Harif as well as Elders, and I'm afraid for RSG because this is where Evos might pop off. Although you mentioned they have taken countermeasures against the Elders, they bought the Wind of Truncheon, they bought the
Wind of Nature.
But there's an Elders after all. Wind of Nature can only block out for 2 seconds, and that is so important. If, Potato might go for a throw here. He might go for a Wind of Nature himself. That might work.
Wouldn't be surprised.
That might work.
I wouldn't be surprised indeed. In the meantime, RSG Jason finds himself in the nick of everything else. The Blessing on the Moon God is going to be one thing that's just going to be activated as well. But the Dominion Hammer just smashes into oblivion. LY4 with just a sliver of health. But Soul is just able to get himself right in between of everything else with a really nice dashes with the sword out strike. Gets himself with a total of 2, with a total of 1,000 gold advantage for the side of Evos, Evos-SG. They have opened up the map. They understood where their opponents are. No problems when it comes to the brushes with a decent amount of those traps, abyss traps that's been laid all over the place. They have the control of the map, despite the fact that RSG has such a great starting run.
Look at that, so just pulling out the moves right now, jumping around the Lapu Lapu, dancing around the Cho, and RSG, they know that Evos, they want to start this Lord fight, but look at So, chasing them away single-handedly, and Forza, no choice but to reroute around. Sana, once again, finding his Abyssal Arrow blocked out by the bulwark, and Jason, oh, he goes in a little bit too early, he's the first one to go down. Tick-tock, the clock will run out, and the backline comes in. Sing will remove one off the bomb, but is it enough? No, it's not. LY4 gets bursted into flames, but Sing still trying to use the Dominus Descent to do one sort of damage that he can, and both will take 2 apiece. But it is the carries of Evos that's still alive. Will they be greedy enough? Will they go for the Lord? It looks like they're tempered, but Potato going up the top lane right now, kicked out by Forza. Oh, the way of the dragon pushes onto the back line, but here comes the rest of Evos. Go, the Dominant Force comes out for Pokemon as well, but RSG, they can't take this fight and they will have to back off. Waves pushing into the middle and the bottom lane.
Yet another turret destroyed, yet another objective that is going to be guaranteed by the side of Evos-SG. But is it going to be really? Because it does seem like the rest of the members coming from RSG, even though the Bravest Warriors are currently being activated, the Zaman Force is unavailable for the picking as well. And here we go, Mountain Shocker, Forza goes right in, way on the Dragon, but everyone else is all over the place, and it does seem like Forza just going to be focusing down on the Potato, ensuring that he doesn't get anywhere closer to the opponent's side. But Soul is going to be the one thing that Sing wants to get himself right into the opponent's side, and Potato gets one, and here we go, a double, maybe a triple, but no, he can't take him down. Coming in from the side of Sarah, where is Lolita? We do not see any part of the Bulwark Shield that JPL is able to deliver for himself. Sing currently with low HP, but the Abyssal Trap, Abyssal Arrow, none to be taken. JPL still A-okay, but how we go? The way of the Dragon, run JPL, Sing gets one, another unstoppable, right to his spree, 10-12, and RSG is getting themselves right back on track, and perhaps even getting themselves back in the momentum and controlling down onto the map, as the Lord is definitely within into their vision and something that they would want to see.
This is the value of Go playing on that Estus. The instant that Estus goes down, Evos loses so much of the sustain that they had in the previous team fight. And yes, you do have Potato soaking up so much damage, coming in with the shield, smashing and pounding everyone to the ground. But it wasn't enough. RSG managed to outlast the fight, even without LY4 in it. But here we go, the next Lord becoming a very important objective. In fact, the first Lord has yet to be taken. It's already evolved into an Enlightened Lord. So it's going to be a huge objective for both of these two teams.
I think it's Jill holding on to his Dominator's Descent. Evos-SG probably going to get themselves closer. Forza is just going to be getting himself right into the opponent's lines, but it doesn't seem like Pokemon. He will be able to get an easy kill right on top of Sync. The Dominator's Descent pumps right off.
Bottom
LT
lane
down, bottom lane's down, 2-person in. Lapu Lapu versus the Orders. Doesn't seem like it is going to be a 1v1 after all. It's gonna seem like a 1v3. Way on the Dragon, right on the Potato. He goes down, the baby does not.
Oh,
He's
the stun!
He's gonna win. He's still got a contract. It's okay. Jason Dubsink, he's gonna all the way home. Bottom lane, middle lane, they're all completely barren. Foster is still trying to get himself right back in the lane. But unfortunately, the thing is going to be the big part of the lane. And he is going to be the one who may go down next. We got a Summon Force focusing down on the core. And everything else, Evos-SG takes the game down to the core like that easily as they manage to get a really nice split push in.